She remembers one night when 3 African-American families were firebombed.
Molotov cocktails were thrown into their homes.
After that, the city created a Human Relations Commission that Owens Shields now coordinates. Lalisa Morgan is a commissioner. Every year, residents gather for a peace rally, and high school students get trained in tolerance and leadership. Owens Shields and the police chief say these efforts have helped reduce hate crimes to less than 1 a year.
I know that we're making a difference, but I don't feel like this indictment is a reason to get comfortable. This is an amazing victory. We won this battle in an ongoing war.
Owens Shields points out the KKK is just next door in neighboring San Gabriel Valley cities, but she says at least Azusa is confronting racial intolerance head-on. Lalisa Morgan says she's determined to live among her mostly Latino neighbors in Azusa, the city she moved to from South Central LA.
I found a niche of people that supported me and my family, and we became our own little family here because this is my home. Regardless of what the Azusa 13s think they want to do, this is my home.
If the alleged members of Azusa 13 are convicted, federal prison might be their home for the next 30 years. Mandalik del Barco, NPR News.
This is All Things Considered from NPR News.
Breaking details on an explosion that rocked the community of Casa Grande.
Now, the blast was said to be big. It went off at the Social Security office in the downtown area. So, the big question, who's behind it? At this moment, federal agents are combing through the Coolidge home of a man with a disturbing history.
CBS 5's Heather Moore has been working this story from Coolidge. Heather, what have you been able to uncover?
Well, Sean and Catherine, neighbors say the scene out here today is reminiscent of one just a few years back, where law enforcement was crawling all over the home of Abdul Latif Al-Dessari, who was arrested and served time behind bars. We also found he is currently connected to a case in Casa Grande.
They're pretty surprised and shocked.
Residents of Martin Valley and Coolidge finally let back in their homes tonight, locked out all day after a crime 20 miles away early this morning.
When I pulled up and the officer said it related to the bombing in Casa Grande.
The bomb exploded at the back of the Social Security office in downtown Casa Grande less than an hour before it opened for business, violently shaking the entire building.
It was very scary. We're still kind of shaken up.
The FBI, ATF, Homeland Security, and local police spent hours collecting evidence at the scene. A source close to the investigation says it appears an accelerant and some type of plastic object was used in the blast.
I don't know what would go through somebody's mind to do that.
Shortly after that explosion, the feds descended on Coolidge. The FBI confirmed to CBS 5 that they were serving a search warrant at the home of someone they took into custody this afternoon. Neighbors say the home belongs to this man, 47-year-old Abdul Latif Al-Dessari.
He's pretty quiet. He don't really come out of the house.
Court records show he served time in a Safford prison 4 years ago for aggravated harassment against his employer, Hunter Contracting, and is currently involved in an assault case in Casa Grande.
I was pretty shocked about it. Around this little town, who knows to expect something like this?
It is going to be a long night out here for investigators. We understand that search warrant was finally issued just a short time ago. The plan was to secure the home first to make sure it was safe before going inside to collect evidence. Reporting live in Coolidge tonight, I'm Heather Moore, CBS 5 News.
challenges awaiting the next president of this country, keeping America's borders safe. Things have been heating up lately in South Texas. Just across the river from Brownsville, reports of a shootout in Mexico. Now, in response to the increasing violence there and in other spots over the border, South Texas authorities not only staffing up and arming up agents, but authorizing them, if necessary, to return fire across the border. Jonathan Hunt is live tonight in Hidalgo County, Texas, in the southern tip of the state. Jonathan?
Chef, decapitations and all manner of grisly killings are commonplace on the Mexican side of the Rio Grande. Now it seems that drug cartels are increasingly aiming their fire at U.S. law enforcement on the American side of the border. Well, the sheriff here in Hidalgo County says enough is enough. His deputies will now fight fire with fire. We're on patrol right now with the Linebacker Unit, a special ops task force of the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department. Their job to tackle all drug-related violence on the U.S.-Mexico border. And here is that border, the Rio Grande River, and the Mexican cartels on that side of the river have become far more brazen and aggressive in their tactics. Just a few weeks ago, there was a major gunfight here after a drug smuggler dumped his load in the Rio Grande, having been chased back south. And then men dressed head to toe in black appeared on the Mexican side of the river, ordering U.S. deputies and Border Patrol agents to back off. When they refused, a gunfight ensued. Fortunately, nobody on the U.S. side was hurt. But that kind of brazen tactic by the cartels is one reason why the sheriff here has now decided that all his deputies need to be armed with fully automatic weapons like this M16 and to open fire if they are attacked. The sheriff here says his men will no longer be intimidated. It is time for them to protect the U.S. soil and the American people. And Shep, of all the many, many stories we have done along the U.S.-Mexico border, that ride along with the sheriff's deputies here was the first time that I and the entire Fox crew have been ordered to wear bulletproof vests. One more indicator that there really is a war going on down here.
Shep? Jonathan Hunt live in South Texas.
Let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war. Only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? When Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we are retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than death, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shotters around the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material complications. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. He said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
I can hear him banging. He's trying to get in. He's getting close to the door. I'm going to go ahead and get the gun out. It's a shotgun. It's large.
One night as I came home and saw the front door broken in, I grabbed my face and went inside to see who lurks within. There we stood, face to face, my gun, the thief at night. But man, you should have seen him run when I got that 45. The gun down right will disappear. We won't let it happen again. It's one of my rights as a free man to protect my home when I need it. I demand my right to bear arms, yeah. It's one of my rights as a free man to protect my home when I need it. I demand my right to bear arms, yeah. The government makes the gun laws so they can take our right to own. Every citizen unknown is a citizen they control. So they see our weapons, it's the only thing they know. I'm a voting countryman, and society will fall. You're never gonna take our guns away. In return for tyranny, it's one of my rights as a free man to protect my home when I need it. I demand my right to bear arms, yeah. It's one of my rights as a